Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Android application development tutorial with Android Studio. In this episode we are going to learn about how to use a radio button in your Android application. So if you're using a radio button, you can select only one option at a time. That means the options are mutually exclusive. So in this episode I am going to create an Android application that will demonstrate how to place a radio button and how to handle the click events of a radio button. So start a new project in Android Studio. So first we have to create our GUI for the application. So first here I'm going to add a text view. Width is wrap content, height also wrap content. And provide some message Android. Provide some title for this application using this text view, Android text. Refer it from the string resource, string title message. Okay, now we have to add some title message on the strings.xml file. So you have to add some title message using a string resource. Name is title message. Select one fruit. Okay, now I make this text a large one using the attribute text appearance, Android appearance large. Also I want to make this at the center, so Android using the layout gravity attribute, center horizontal. One more thing, I have to make the orientation vertical, Android orientation vertical. Okay, now we have a text view at the center of the layout. Now we have to add some radio button. Since the options are mutually exclusive while you are using a radio buttons, first we have to add a radio group. So first here I am going to add a radio group. I make the width as match parent, height into wrap content. Okay, now we have to add each radio button into this radio group. We add the radio group because user have to select only one radio button at a time. That's why we add a radio group. Now we have to add some radio buttons. So here I am going to add the first radio button. Width is wrap content, height also wrap content. Provide an ID for this Android using ID attribute plus ID. I name it as fruit apple. Okay, now we have to provide some text for this radio button using text attribute and refer it from the string resource. I name it as apple. Now we have to add some fruits name into the strings.xml file. So we have to add some string resources. First one is apple and the value is apple. Add another string resource, orange, and the value is orange. Add one more string resource, name is grapes, and corresponding value is grapes. Okay, so now we add one radio button into this layout called apple. Now we have to add two more radio buttons. So I copy this radio button and add two more radio buttons. Okay, change the ID of the second one into fruit orange Also change the name into orange. And the last one is grapes. This is fruit grapes. And the corresponding value text is grapes. Okay, now we have three radio buttons in this layout. Okay, now we have to add some on-click method for this radio button. So here I am going to add some on-click method using on-click attribute. I name it as select fruit, and I use the same on-click method for all these radio buttons. Android on-click select fruit. Here also we have to add that on-click method, Android on-click select fruit. Okay, now we have to define this method on the main activity.java. And one more thing, we have to add another text view here for displaying the result. So I copy this text view and paste it here. And provide a text, change the text into hello world. Also I have to give some ID for this text view, Android ID plus ID. I name it as a result text. Okay, now we complete the GUI part of our application. Now we have to code this application. So first thing, we have to define this method called select fruit on the main activity.java file. So I copy this method name and open up the main activity.java file and define that method. Public void select fruit. Don't forget to add a view argument. Okay, so whenever user select a fruit, we have to display the result using the text view with ID result text. So we have to create an object of text view for displaying the result text view final result. Okay, now we have to initialize that particular object. So final result equal to using find view by ID method. And the ID is final text, result text. Okay, now we have to typecast this one into corresponding object. Here the class name is text view. Okay, so whenever user select an object, select a particular radio button, we have to display that particular fruit name. So before, we have to check the state of the radio button, whether it is ticked or unticked. So first, for that, here I am going to create a boolean variable, boolean checked equal to, here the view item is a radio button. So radio button, we have to typecast the view into radio button and check the status whether it is checked or not, or unchecked. If it is checked, we got true in this boolean variable, otherwise we got false. Okay, so now we have to check which radio button is selected by the user. So here I am going to use a switch case statement for checking which item is selected by the user. So we have to get the ID from the view argument, view.getID. Okay, now we have to analyze. Now we have to check each of the radio button using the case. If it is equal to r.id dot fruit apple, we have to display the selected fruit is apple. So we have to display it using the text view. So when user start this application, we have to hide the text view. So I make the final result text view into set enabled into false. Okay, so whenever user select a fruit, we have to display the text view. First we have to assign, we have to provide some value for the text view. So final result dot set text, you select apple. Okay, so now we have to enable this text view. So final result dot set enabled into true. This will enable the text view. And now we have to put a break statement. Okay, so we have to display the result as you select apple if the radio button is checked. Otherwise we have to remove the apple selection. So here I am going to use an if loop for checking whether the radio button is checked or unchecked. So use an if it is checked, so use the boolean variable. So if it is checked, we have to display the result using the text view. Otherwise we have to display another result. Okay, otherwise here I am going to hide the text view. So set final result dot set enabled into false. So if the user unselect that radio button, I just disable the text view. Okay, so now we have to put the case statement for other two fruits. If it is equal to orange, you select orange. Also one more case statement. Final one is grapes. You select grapes. Okay. Okay, now we complete the coding. Now we can run the application. So now I am going to run the application. Okay, now we have the application available on the virtual device. Okay, here the text view is not hidden, it is just not enabled. So if you're using the set enabled method, it is not enabled, it is not hidden. Okay, that is my mistake. And here I am going to make one selection. So here I am going to select the first fruit, apple. Now we have the output, you select apple. And here I am going to make another selection, orange. Now we have the output, you select orange. Okay, and this is mutually exclusive. You can select only one item at a time in this radio group. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.